Hello, everybody. Yay, it's Friday night. Woo! Yay, TGIF, right? This has been a crazy, crazy week this week. I know for me personally, yes, I am a Lone Ranger this evening because my awesome co-host, John Sparks, is being interviewed tonight too. So I know it's very hard for anybody to be consistent on a Friday night. And everything. So yay, John Sparks. Hopefully we can, I can get the link and put it up here, but yay. Thank you for John Sparks. This first week, well, second week, actually live on the Manifest Network. Yay. Chad, man, on EVPS. Whoo, love his heart. He has gotten so many messages from me. Chad, kudos, like, love you, man. Love EVPS. Y'all are amazing and couldn't ask for better people with the Manifest Network. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will be going to comments here shortly. If you're watching for the first time, please share this video. Please ask questions too. It helps our guest first and foremost. It helps the network first and second and foremost. And then it helps the show, What the Frick Live. I love everybody. Thank you so much for your support. We have, and I'm not going to mess a little bit in anything else because we have a really special guest tonight, and the projects that he's doing takes a very strong person to do in the first place. Okay. And Josh Edilla is his name. I always ask my guests that's coming on what their names are. I don't care if it's Joe Smith or Chad Simpson. I always ask their names, and because I'm Appalachian, I got a little light is bright tonight in me, and I always ask their names. So Josh Edilla is our guest tonight. He is the Animal in Paranormal, and I'm so excited to have him on because he's doing a major project that deals with suicide awareness, which hardly anybody ever talks about. But we're going to know Josh a little bit more tonight rather than the documentary and things he's doing. And I'm telling you, this guy is super talented, super amazing. And we're going to be playing a clip this evening that nobody's seen before. And I'm telling you, if you are not crying at this, I don't know. I experienced suicide death for the first time last year. And it's a death that you don't ever want to experience because it leaves people wondering why and how, and I should have, I could have, and I done that. But we're going to bring Josh on right now to the stream because he's absolutely, they call him the Animal.
Hey!
Hey!
What's up?
I love that. Hey, Josh, thank you so much for being on What the Frick Live.
What
Really.
is up? How's it going? I see everybody here in the chat room.
Oh,
What is up, y'all?
I'm getting ready to pull that up here soon. So, hold on, Linda Judd. First and foremost, Linda Judd is one of our faithful viewers for What the Frick Live. She has traveled with us on several different networks, and she is awesome and amazing. She's an author and writer. Thank you. Laura Peel, greetings from Kentucky. Love Laura. Whisper Soul. Hello. Hold on. I'm sorry for going through all this because I got excited when I saw this come up. Hello, Dawn from Illinois. Love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And obviously, if you have any questions this evening, hold on. What's the Whisper Soul? There's his animal. Yes. Well, I don't like when you say animal. I will tell you this, Josh. That's got my attention first and foremost. Animal. It reminded me of the Muppet Babies. Animal.
It's a funny story about that. Did I tell you this story?
No, tell us.
Well, it's a funny story. It actually started out in a bar. It actually did. A long time ago when I was in a biker club, and we were just chilling there. It was I think it was like my first couple weeks in the club, and we're just chilling. And one of the big guys, he's like 7 foot tall, big muscular guy. I'm a pretty big guy too, but this guy was like really huge. And my poor beard, that's my, it was shaved off a few weeks ago, but it's growing back. But when I was sitting there and one of the guys was like, hey, you look like the animal from the Muppets, the drummer. I'm like, what? So ever since then, they, when I got patched into the club, my name tag was the animal. So everywhere I went with the animal for years, so that's what they call me, the animal. So
do you have a tattoo?
No, that I have tons of tattoos, but I should get an animal tattoo, honestly, because should. I got if you look in my animal cave, you see the animal in the background.
I love it.
I should get that as a tattoo.
I love it. I love your. Hold on, if you don't mind, scoot back over, everybody. I love your logo, by the way, because it looks half human, half animal. I love that.
Thanks to my amazing wife, who she's a designer. She does it all. So thanks to her for doing that banner for me. So it's awesome.
Well, we want to say thank you, everybody, for viewing and watching. Please share this episode. Please share it out. If you have any. Make comments, love, whatever you want to do. Just go ahead and do it. All positive, though. Nothing negative. Nothing negative. We love you all. Thank you so much. If you have any questions during our live interview, please ask them. I will do my best to get to them, I promise. And thank you so much, Josh, for being a guest on the show. We really, truly appreciate the work you do and everything you do. And where are you out of, though? You're out of the South.
Yep.
Right?
Well, no, I know they say the deep, deep South, but I'm actually south, like in Florida. So, where everything is swampy and all that stuff, where you see gators and all that stuff. I know I pointed down. That was kind of weird I pointed down, but I meant Florida.
I need my road is what I need to hook up here and hit that and have that as one of my little icons I can hit.
But no, I'm originally from Rhode Island and up in the New England area, but I moved to Florida when I was about 13 years old. But yeah, it's okay. It's hot and sunny, and it gets cold here once a blue moon, but you're always living the life, fishing and hunting and living every day, pretty much, just like the song.
It's like I don't have electricity for 5 days, but by golly, Josh is down in Florida. He's doing good. The older I get, the more I understand that I want to move south. I think you live in an area. I would much rather sweat than freeze.
I don't know. It's weird because I work in the heat and construction every day, so it gets I guess it wears you out, just like the cold wears you out. It's like when we were in Tennessee, not too long ago when we had a family
Right.
vacation, and it was like in the 20s up in the mountains. And it was amazing just feeling that cold weather. It's been a long time being in cold weather like that. It was a good feeling.
Well, we're gonna be talking about some of the things and the projects that you're working on, that you're super awesome and talented. Really, you are, and you're touching on a subject tonight. Well, we'll be here in a few moments tonight. That is, I didn't understand it till it happened to me. So I think a lot of people are like that when it comes to that. But before we go into that, what got you into the paranormal? What made you start wanting? Did you have that one experience growing up, or grow up in a haunted house? What got you there?
It pretty much started when I was young, just starting seeing things happening in my life. It was weird, you would start seeing things and not realize what it is when you're young, and when people like, who are you talking to? Your parents would ask you, and I'd be like, it's my friend, kind of like that kind of situation. And then you grow up and you start seeing much weirder stuff. And then, like, at the age of 13, I started going to church a lot. I got saved at the age of 13, and it just, the more and more, like, in my life, I started feeling like I was getting attacked by these dark figures, after going to church and stuff. And that could be a whole nother, talk about church and everything like that.
Oh, you could, yeah, we can.
I could go for hours.
We need to have a Sunday service on the Manifest Network. Let's do Sunday services. I would be all for it. I also asked him to do Sunday selfies, but nobody's responded back. So.
I mean, I could preach a whole sermon about that, but it's like, once, like, I went through church and stuff, I've been attacked by, dark figures and stuff like that. And I was like, what? I'm like, what are these things? So I kind of wanted to figure out what these things were attacking me. And then after that, I started going to youth group, and I started seeing these people being possessed, and I started praying over people and just started seeing this weird stuff happening. And I couldn't understand it until I got older, and just really got interested in the paranormal just the older I got. And I've been doing it for, like, I would say professionally about 20 years or so, investigating in the paranormal. And
that's a good number too, because I'm telling you, I love all these new upcomers and stuff, and I love them very much. I am para unity. I really am. I support anybody that's doing the good things out of it.
But there's a but.
There is a but. I love enthusiasm, really. I do. And I've had a lot of individuals reach out lately, especially lately, over the last 3 or 4 months, really, and asking opinions. I hope a lot of these younger generations that's coming up that does that. I hope, Animal, you'd be somebody definitely I'd go to. Even we've done it almost the same amount of time, but you're somebody I respect very much. I hope that the younger generations will start doing that a lot more often, because I think a lot of them are intertwined with the fame issue of it. Yeah. But I've had a handful, I would say a remnant of them that come in and they really want to learn and are excited and stuff. And I hope that continues. And I hope, please, if you're a young person right now and you're watching this, reach out to the Animal. I'm going to put your Facebook page up to talk, because I believe in you and your gifts and your callings, and you're awesome and amazing. How do you feel about that? Did I talk too much? I talk a lot. I can't help it. I got in trouble in high school for talking too long. I had a corner called the Men's House Corner. So I talk a lot. I want to, like, encourage people and then ask questions. So
I definitely encourage people to, if they want to talk about anything. And the cool thing is, I'm not all about the paranormal. I also do underwater exploring. I'm a scuba diver. Also a rescue diver. We do a lot of rescue, when drunk people go, into the water. We do a lot of rescues like that. We also do a lot of shipwreck diving. We have a shipwreck diving team where we actually do underwater paranormal research.
Wow, I did not know that about you.
Or treasure hunting.
Prepared.
or treasure hunting. We do it all. Anything with that, or we do metal detecting. We do it all.
I got a question.
Sure.
Okay, you do underwater diving. That's amazing, first and foremost. Have you ever captured EVPs underwater or have any experienced waterbound spirits?
We've actually caught some weird things, weird phenomena, which I wish I had the photos of. One of my partners who we dive together, he has a lot of photos and a lot of weird natural EVP, because you could use EVP underwater. You just have to invent something that you could put that recorder inside, so it doesn't get waterlogged. So yeah, we've caught some weird things under there, things that are not normal. So it's pretty interesting. It's a whole different field. When you do it on dry land compared to underwater, underwater is a lot dangerous. You got a lot of stuff you have to worry about, especially sharks and stuff. Especially when you do a shipwreck dive, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. It's just like anything else. Even when you go into an old building, I work in a construction. Anything could happen. That's the nature of the game. I guess you would say the sport. But yeah, it's very interesting. I love it, especially treasure hunting and shipwrecks and stuff like that. Finding unknown ships that have never been reported, or pretty soon we're going to be finding these bomber planes that were crashed in World War I. They were test planes. So we're going to be doing that pretty soon. We're going to be searching for these bombers, and we're going to dive them, and we're going to pretty much mark them for the army, so they could say, oh wow, you guys found this. So kind of pretty much claim the prize for it.
Well, Josh, I just want to say this. Whisper Soul, love her. She's so awesome, amazing. And so is Daniel Marino is watching too. They support so many paranormal shows. Thank you to you both, really, with all my heart, for watching tonight. But EVP underwater. Have you ever captured an EVP underwater, or have you had the opportunity to do an EVP session underwater?
Well, it's kind of hard to talk to spirits underwater, so what you got to do is just put a recorder underwater and just see what you catch. It's like anything else, like you do on dry land, except you're not talking to the spirits. You just got to see what you get underwater. That's pretty much how you do it.
Have you ever thought about going to the Bermuda Triangle?
Actually, it's funny you talk about that, because we're actually talking about a trip to doing some shipwrecks in the Bermuda Triangle area.
Can I go? Is a submarine involved? I don't scuba dive, but if there's a submarine involved, I would go deep. Can I go? I'm inviting myself. I shouldn't do that. But if you do that, oh my goodness, I would love to go.
Yeah, we're actually planning a trip, hopefully pretty soon. By this summer, we're going to take a dive trip up and start at the Keys area and start taking a boat and go diving and shipwrecking and see what we can find and see what is actually, because I'm very interested in Bermuda Triangle, see what actually, is going on there, because you see so many documentaries about it. Do you actually believe what's going on, what they're saying?
Yes.
That's why you want to go there and testify it for yourself and to be able to have that proof.
I believe in it because, I mean, I don't want to talk about this too much. I'm just going to dot, and that's it.
Yeah.
My Pastor Garner in my church, went to the Bermuda Triangle for several weeks, did an investigation there, went deep diving in there, and also went in a submarine. You can hear people moaning and yelling and chains rattling. And the Bible talks about waterbound spirits being held in chains underneath the waters and everything. I've listened to those tapes one time when I was 17 years old. They put it away. It was actually on an A track. And I have not pursued it hard enough with my church, but maybe I can and become crazy psycho over it and see if I can hear them again, because there is earthbound spirits, there's waterbound spirits, and a lot, if you want to go to the Bible, because I know you talked about it a little bit ago, they talk about a lot of the things coming out of the waters and stuff, talking about spiritual bondage and even in Revelation talking about some stuff like that. So the water stuff and how water is what's that show? What was that show on Elizabeth Saint was in it, Nick Groff. where they tied all the activity was close to that river that went through that city.
Is that where they investigated that hospital?
No, it was like the whole town. The whole town was haunted. It was in Virginia, or
I think I know what you're talking about.
Let me see if I can Google it real quick.
It's on the Travel Channel.
Yes, and it was
Yes.
Elizabeth Saint, but they tied all the really true activity back to the water.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, everybody knows that's done any kind
Shepherdstown.
Yes,
Shepherdstown, yeah.
That's it. Greg, Shepherdstown in Whisper Soul. Woo!
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. They tied it back. Morgan, yes, that's it. Morgan City too. Ghost of Morgan City with Katie Stafford and them. Yes. Yeah. So water is, I believe water is like a number one thing when it comes to paranormal activity. I don't know the details about it, but I would love to see some of your stuff that comes out of the water.
We've actually done experiments with a fish tank of doing EVPs at a haunted location, and we pretty much fill up the fish tank, and those what's it called, the circulators that dumps in back to the fish tank, and we've actually got some really amazing EVPs out of it, which was really astounding, something coming out of water. So you could do it. It's very doable. If you could get it underwater, you could definitely get it above water too when you're doing some kind of like experiment like that.
The water though, like we're still discovering things in the deep seas and deep oceans that we don't even know exist.
Nope. There's so much out there that we don't even know about. Like, again, the Bermuda Triangle. There's so many shipwrecks, so many planes that crash, so many disappearances that no one knows about, and people are finding on a daily basis. And there's still thousands of things out there that we don't know about, like fish. There's all different kind of species that are being found out in the deep water. There was that big squid that was found that was like kind of like the big as a kraken. So it's out there. You have that big shark that what's it called? That's supposed to be prehistoric, but people are still seeing it out of nowhere. On
the Loch Ness monster. I don't
know. No, it's
I'm not smart when it comes to that stuff.
No, what's it called? It's a huge, one of the largest sharks in the world. Megalodon. It's a megalodon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and people are saying they're still alive. So it's who knows? Maybe there's a big freaking monster that could take down a huge ship we don't know about.
Well, real quick, Greg makes a point. I'm going to have another question. I had it up and I took it down. I'm going to bring it back up, Laura, I promise. But Greg says it's because we are also 90% water. That's a good point. Right there. It is.
Yep.
Wow. I didn't think about that before. That's something. I never thought about that. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, that makes a good point. That makes a very interesting topic to research and stuff, Josh. For you doing your diving, because very few do you ever. I mean, you actually, I think, are the only one that I've come across that actually does diving in the paranormal.
It's a very selective kind of, it's a gray area, because a lot of people scuba dive, but they don't do paranormal diving. It's dangerous because there's a lot of things that could happen. A hose could blow off, your regulator, something could happen with that. Something with your tank, your BC, at your mask, anything could happen. So a lot of people are, scared to be underwater, because of it could be anything.
How about claustrophobia? Because that's what I feel. Yeah. That's what I feel like going underwater. If I go that far deep where it's so dark, like you can't see the sunlight or the beams come through or anything like that, I feel like I would panic.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. And I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down who has a phobia or anything. I mean, if you want to do scuba diving, please do it. It's fun, but like I said, you got to be patient with it. It is a lot of training, and be careful and just have fun with it. Take your time, because it's very enjoyable. You see so much beautiful stuff of coral reefs, shipwrecks, just Mother Nature that God created for us to look that we've never seen before, and it's just cool. It's God's creation that, I think that should be searched forever. I think everybody should be. I think everybody should do it, but not, like I said, not everybody can.
I'm a weakling. I can't. That's why I depend on you, Josh. You do it. You do it.
I do the dangerous stuff.
If you get any audio, send it to me. I will review it, but I can't be down in there. I can't be in the deeps. So.
No, definitely.
Now, speaking of the deep waters, I had a feeling something would come up. Laura Peel, one of our reviewers. Thank you, Laura, so much. Wonder what you might hear at the site where the Titanic went down. Have you ever thought about something like that?
That would be interesting, actually, to do like EVPs above water, because just think about all those people that were on those life rafts were they were dying right there, floating in that water. So who knows? It might be above or underneath. You never know what you might catch. But it'd be interesting to actually do a paranormal investigation in that area. You might not be able to go as deep as a ship, unless if you're in a submarine. But it'd still be cool, to check it out.
Those submarines, man, they are magnificent, even with their radar and all that stuff. And actually, isn't some paranormal equipment coming out soon that deals with that? I'm not smart when it comes to this. With the different meters and stuff that they read, they're talking about water frequencies and stuff and using that. But I don't know if you can just use that in water or not. I'll have to bring that up later. I thought I saw an article about that in the last
I'll have to look it up.
But Greg asked a question: does that mean all spirits have drowned? Well, for 90%, I think that 90% of our body's water, we're already drowned.
Yeah, I mean, anything's a possibility. Like, it's the unknown. We don't know until we're always going to be finding answers for it.
SLS camera underwater.
Now that would be cool.
That'd be really cool.
And it's doable because you could take a camera underwater. They do make mounts, protectors for your cameras for underwater photography.
That would be cool.
So if they can make one for a SLS camera, why not? That'd be freaking awesome.
Deep water sonar frequency. Yes, that's what I saw. I read about sonar. They're coming out with paranormal tools. Well, I don't know if it's labeled paranormal, but I saw some stuff to measure that and things, and it would be interesting to use at paranormal location using sonar.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, but
it's pretty interesting. I definitely need to.
Cheryl, don't know if I spelled that right. That's okay. That's how I always am too, Cheryl. But thank you. And by the way, it's not 30 already. 30 minutes has already passed. It goes by so fast.
Crap.
I know it goes by so fast. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching and viewing the show. We are on the Manifest Network. It's an amazing network. Please like and follow us here. But please follow the Animal, and I'm going to put his page up here. I'll stop this banner, but share this video, share this interview. It helps us. It helps our guests. It helps our network. It helps everybody, and that's what we always want to do. We want to help everyone. So really quick, too, everybody can probably follow you there at the Animal.
Yep, the Animal Live.
And then we're going to go into right now.
Totally different subject.
Not really totally different.
Because like my serious face.
Let's go serious for a moment, because I'm going to play a clip here in a few moments that you've sent me. And Josh, man, it takes a strong person to do what you're doing, actually, and bring into light a topic that's very hard to discuss. And the people that have faced it, I never knew what it was like until I faced it myself. And yes, I can support the issue before, but until I faced it myself, and it's not my kid or my fiance or husband or anything like that, but you don't know until you know, till you face it. And you have taken on a subject and a project that's absolutely amazing. And I admire you very much, Josh. I messaged you. I was like, do you cry editing these?
Well, the funny thing about this is talk about the serious subject. I don't tell a lot of people about this, but I've been through this myself. So it's I'm very familiar with the subject and of what people are going through right now, and especially when people actually go through it, and actually carry on to take their own lives. It's something that's really big in my heart right now to help people out there that are struggling right now with that situation.
And you've entitled, and it is true, it's Through Hell and Back, the documentary. And it's through hell and back. And I can see it from both sides of point of view. And I believe I spoke to you about this a little bit, that my uncle that committed suicide, he went through hell. Okay. And he's back. And then he committed suicide, but I say back, he's in heaven. He's now I sit and think about it, like, my aunt was like, man, can you give me just a year? Try to bring some humor into it. But then on the other side of it, and being someone that has experienced someone that has committed suicide, it is through hell and back. Yeah. It really is. And it's very hard to overcome. And what you're doing and how you're bringing this to the forefront, because the Hillbilly Horror Stories, you just interviewed them in Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. For this documentary that you're putting together. And it's a series though, right? Or am I wrong? Or
yeah, it's supposed to be a 4-part series.
Okay.
So
I think it's gonna be much more than that.
It might be, you never know, because it's funny because at first I was gonna make it a 2-hour long documentary, but I was like, it's kind of a little too much with the editing and all the process. It would take a lot longer for it to come out. But that's why I decided to put it in kind of sections. So it gives people a breather to think about, well, like, wow, that was intense, And so they want some more, of what's going on in other people's lives.
Whisper Swallow is definitely through hell and back and alters your person. It does. She always corrects herself. We get you. We know. But it does. It alters your life. And I'm going to say this to everybody that's watching this right now, because I'm going to play after this, and I'll follow up with you before I play something that's never been released before, right?
Not yet. I was kind of debating. It's funny that you were sharing this tonight, because I was debating on when to share this. So it'll be kind of a first kind of preview of a clip of the beginning of the first part of the series. Mm-hmm. But I added more stuff to the beginning, so this is kind of like a little raw, kind of unedited version of it. So yeah, I thought it'd be pretty cool to show you guys just a little taste of kind of what's going on here.
Cheryl says it's a pilot for Travel Channel.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Travel Channel, Discovery, whatever, anyone that's watching this needs to be talked about a lot. Like, this happens a lot and just a real little small area of my concern is that my uncle was married to my wife, or his aunt, or my aunt for 62 years. Nobody talks about elderly suicide. He was 82 years old. He lost his wife 2 weeks before he did it. And wow. You don't think about those things. And you are bringing, Josh, man, really, you are bringing this stuff, I'm going to tear up, to the forefront. And a lot of people have these internal issues and stuff going on in their lives, especially with COVID-19 and everything, and they are away from everyone they love. And Josh, I admire you so much.
Thank you.
I really do. So, sorry, I knew I was going to get emotional. Always do. I can't help it. But Travel Channel, Discovery Channel, I don't know if it's a red flag if I mention those names. Any channel, let's just say, please look at these documentaries, because you've done a very good job putting at least what I'm getting ready to show tonight up. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show this. I'm going to take us off. I want this to be full screen. Everybody needs to listen to this. This is amazing. Josh, you're so talented.
Thank you.
You really are. So hold on. Let me take this banner off. That's Through Hell and Back is a documentary, facebook.com. I'll be putting this stuff up. Also, it's in the description of the show. So let's watch here. Josh, thank you for doing the hard work.
Not a
Really.
problem. Anytime.
Okay, let's pull this up. I'm gonna remove us. I want the whole screen.
I think when life gets hard, you don't know where to turn to. Sometimes you think life is over. You are about to hear some incredible stories, so sit back, relax. This is Through Hell and Back.
So, my name is Christy, and I'm going to tell you about my life. I'll just let the emotion go because you can see what these kinds of things do to people. I'm going to start by saying that I did grow up in an abusive household, and I think that is an important part in why I ended up in a lot of places that I ended up and doing a lot of things that I ended up doing. So when I was 14 years old, I basically made the decision to go and live with my father because my parents had been divorced since I was 2. Things weren't exactly the greatest there either. And when I turned 14, I met Brian.
Wow. Josh, man, that's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is awesome. Through hell and back. And it really is. And you know, the relationships you develop with people and things, you know, my relationship with my uncle, and things throughout the years. My aunt that passed last year. I don't want to cry. Josh, why do you do this? Was the closest aunt I ever had in my entire life. And like my dad has 11 brothers and sisters, and this is an aunt that's on my mother's side. And she's much older than my mom. She was 18 years older than my mom, but she stepped in like that grandmother figure. So I was very close to her and her husband, George, and my cousins, Julie and Billy. And sorry, it's like, Josh, talk for a moment. Tell us why you started doing this. Why? Because I know you had a personal experience too. So tell everybody why you started this and why you wanted to do this so much.
Well, the funny thing is to be on a serious note, I was actually planning on doing a paranormal documentary, and you know, I was like, everybody's doing a paranormal documentary these days, so I was like, you know, I want to do something different. I want to do something that will hit people, something that will change people in a positive way. Because so many people right now, through COVID, since COVID hit, the suicide rate has gone up almost to 100%. It's really sad. I drive every single day in this area where there's kids playing, but it looks like a homeless camp now where kids used to play of just tents everywhere and families. I've never seen this before in my life where I saw families in a park in a tent with their children, and all of a sudden, you know, you don't see them anymore. You wonder where did these families go? Did they commit suicide? Did they do something, you know, or where did they go? You know, and it's It's like I need to hit it where it hurt, and that was the heart. Because we need something that's truthful. We need something that's positive, something that's loving, and something that will dig deep. Because, truth hurts. When you speak the truth, a lot of people ain't going to like it, but it's the truth.
That's the truth.
It is the truth. And a lot of us, and I'm preaching to the choir, but it's true. Just like in the paranormal stuff and all, negative stuff that we see on a daily basis on Facebook, it's like the truth is that we need to be there for each other. If we start picking on people and start pushing people, sorry.
Sorry, that's my YouTube that just popped up again. I don't know how that happened, but it did. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We start pushing people where it comes to a point where we're bullying them, and then people start getting depressed. And start thinking about life, is life actually really worth it? I'm tired of people picking on me. I'm tired of being bullied. So what is the one thought that goes through your head? Suicide. And some people may go through it, or some people may actually seek for help. So that's what I'm hoping that this documentary. I'll tell you a little story about myself that I usually don't share, but I've been through a marriage that was really bad. My first marriage, it was not good. It was very toxic, and it was very. I'm the type of person where I'm loving and caring, and I just want to help everybody. And I felt like I was being bullied, kind of in a way, and I'm the type of person where I just want to be nice. I don't want to be negative. I always want to help people out, and I just felt like I was bullied.
Are you a water sign?
Huh?
Are you a water sign?
What's a water? Oh, you talk about
Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio?
I don't know what. I was born in December.
So that's not. It could be Capricorn, or I don't know. Were you a Christmas baby?
I was like a week.
Miracle.
I'm a week before Christmas.
Okay. I don't think that's Capricorn. You got Sagittarius, Scorpio. What's the last one? I can't remember. Okay, anybody really knows anything about that, just make a comment. Okay. Capricorn, you're Capricorn. There we go. Or no, Sagittarius. It's Sagittarius. Anyway, let's not go off topic. I'm so sorry, Josh. Go back to what you were talking about.
So going through this kind of like my own little hell and back, I was tired of it. I was tired of being like this person wasn't allowed to do anything. I always had these good ideas, and they were always put down and told they were stupid and dumb, and I just never did them, and I just wasn't happy. And, I got so emotionally just down and depressed that when I had my Harley, I would go and ride. I'd make excuses just to go ride because it was my only thinking point. And there was times on those rides where I just didn't want to live. There was times where I just wasn't happy in my life. And I'll never forget to this day, I found it was like a world, I think it was like it was up in Sarasota, Florida, where I rode to, and it was I think it was like a naval kind of cemetery. And I sat there, it was beautiful. And I just sat there and thought, I parked my motorcycle and just sat there and thought about life. I was thinking, what would my life be if I was underground, and that's, and when you're going through something like that, it's heavy. It's very heavy. That's why I'm hoping through Hell and Back that I could help other people that are going through that same emotions, that same thing.
But you lost somebody though too, so you understand what it's like to lose somebody. That it could have been a drug overdose, I know we spoke. I don't know if you don't feel comfortable talking about it. Just say you don't feel comfortable talking about it. But I know you're doing this for a reason because you experienced it yourself with family. So it's not and the people that's watching this. Has gone through a death with a friend or a loved one that I'm sorry that has experienced suicide. It's death. is so different than any other death. And the person that you're sitting here, like, you sit and think to this day, because it's been a year. February 15th is when my uncle was found. You still sit and think, I should have, I could have, I would have, and for a year later, for me, but you witnessed it yourself too, Josh. So if you don't mind, I see the animals. I want to say the animal. I mean, if you don't mind, or if you can, just share a little bit of that, if you don't mind, to the viewers, stuff, and why you started doing this.
Of the experience of my brother-in-law. Right. Yeah. Yes. Pretty much got a call in the morning, and my younger brother-in-law called, said my brother isn't moving. He looks blue, and I need your help. So we ran over there, and as soon as we got there, it was like CSI, tape blocked off and just people crying, and it just the most scarce moment. He was 19 years old, and they don't know if it was like an overdose or, if somebody tried to kill him. The thing is, I know he was depressed. I know he was going through a lot. So part of me thinks it was, a suicide, that he wanted that to happen. And it's just sad because especially when a kid is going through that. I know somebody recently on my parents' street, they had a neighbor where, bless their hearts, they found their son in a closet hanging because of suicide, of depression. And it's just, you're seeing it with teenagers, your own kids. It's happening to everybody. And
it is happening. And we've had a kid here locally that was super excelling in academics and sports and all that stuff. And my son plays sports with the younger siblings of this family, and it's happening to everyone. It's happening to families too, that you wouldn't think anything bad. But I hate to say this when I'm saying this. I hate to categorize people, but it's happening to everybody on every level, on families that you would never think that would happen.
Yeah,
everything looks good on social media, out in public, but you have no clue what people are battling at home in the secret times. And these kids, and social media has become such a hot spot for these kids, and they get picked on a lot. And
bullied.
Laura says she lost her cousin to suicide. Cheryl also said her brother too, at 19 years of age. Oh. Like, Greg Lug is watching. Thank you, Greg. Nancy Little said I had a cousin 19 also. Listen, everybody, if you want to, I'm sending them your way. If you all want to be part of this documentary or the series or whatever's going on, Travel Channel, Discovery Channel, whatever, you all need to start putting this out to light, because it's happening way more common than often, or few in between.
This Monday, actually, I decided to
wow.
Animal. What?
That's Brent, my 16. Brent he's going to be co-hosting with me tomorrow night for a show. My 16-year-old tried to commit suicide. Like, there's also attempts that never come to pass and doesn't happen. So then, as a parent, and Josh, I know you're a parent, I worry about my son just being sick. He's a high-risk kid. I can't imagine worrying about they try to do this and all this stuff too.
Well, this coming Monday on Animal Paranormal Live, I'm actually doing a special on people. I'm inviting people onto my show where people could tell their stories from suicide and how they went through their hell and back. So if you are interested, please follow me this coming Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Animal Paranormal Live. And I'd love to hear your story. And it's about I don't even know if we could fit an hour, so we might make it longer than an hour. So just please message. I'm gonna put a link down there, and I'm gonna try to fit as many as people as possible to tell their story. If not, we'll have to do another show after that and just keep sharing your story because we want them to come to light and just we want people to know what you've been through and how you bounced back and now you're doing amazing. And I want people to see your hearts through this situation.
And that's the correct link I have up right now at facebook.com/the Animal Live. Okay, awesome. Because you also have really quickly here, you do have a Facebook page through Hell and Back that deals with the documentary, and you're having some amazing people. I'm gonna play that in the next 5 minutes or so for the ending of the show again, because you haven't played it, you haven't put it out there before.
No,
and wow, Josh. I know I messaged you like, do you cry doing this? But
it's not easy especially when you're filming because you're feeling the emotions of when people are speaking. You can feel it. You can feel the energy, just like you feel in the paranormal. You feel that energy, what happened in that building. So it's the same thing, but you're feeling it with a live person that's been through that hell and back.
Real quickly too, with this documentary, have you attached any kind of paranormal occurrences or paranormal issues or situations with these individuals that have lost loved ones due to suicide?
Sorry, you went in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. During this documentary that you're talking about a very heavy topic, but are you also integrating paranormal to it, or is these people also experiencing paranormal occurrences that happen after their loved one has passed away from suicide?
If people it all depends. Everybody has a different story. I know the one Christy who was on that little teaser, she didn't have a paranormal experience, but she because of how much she's doing great in her life, she took this paranormal journey. And just now she's traveling all around and just, doing so many investigations because her life has changed through this hell, that she's been through.
It's Chad off EVPS. And Chad, Chad Cornell, man. Love his heart. He's the one that I freak out to because Josh knows the backstory of this. I'm not going to get into this. I was freaking out to die. Chad, kudos to you, man, for putting up with me first and foremost and helping me through some of this beginning stages of the Manifest Network. That's EVPS, guys. Erie, guys, thank you so much. Love you all very much. We were part of a team, broadcast team, and now we're starting something new, and I'm thankful and honored to be a part of it. So thank you, Chad.
Awesome.
But he obviously, they lost a member too. Wow. Of the team to it. So this is very common these days, and it's sad. And I just want to say this, out of all of it, from where I grew up or am still in the Bible Belt of Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, the Bible Belt. I think like the avenue up in Huntington is in the Guinness Book of World Records of having the most churches on a single avenue.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Bible college and all this stuff. I'm just going to tell you right now, my pastor was amazing to our family. And I think I mentioned this in the beginning of our interview, that God does not don't listen. I hate to say this, so I'm just going to say it. Don't listen to these people that only take part scripture, not the whole scripture. And Josh, I think you can understand with that because, you're a Christian and you go to church and stuff. God looks at the aspects of the heart, not the mind. And just not that yes, you should go do this. No, but the thing is that God judges the heart, not the mind. And at the time, I think that people that commit suicide, especially my uncle being 82 years old, married to his wife for 62 years, you are not in the right mind when that happens. And you're not even thinking about who's going to find you or not. some people might leave a letter. That's amazing. That's awesome if they do, because maybe that can bring some closure. I don't know. I didn't get that. So if anybody has had a family member that's committed suicide and has left a letter, Josh, that might be something too to look into. How are these people feeling with closure or healing or anything? Because I personally didn't get that, and I don't know how anybody else would feel about that. But I believe, honestly, that God looks at the aspects of the heart. And if you want to look at it this way, that's what he's reading and not your mind. And I think that when people get to those lowest of lows, because I've been there, I've thought about it. I never went about it, but I've thought about it. I think when you get to those lowest of lows, you're not thinking fully or clearly at all. And like, for example, my uncle said that he would wake up. My aunt passed away eventually in her home, but he would say, and we try to pull him out of that house. We try to get him to stay at my mom and dad's, his sons, all this. We try to do a lot of things with him. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't budge. And as a man, y'all stubborn. Okay? Stubborn. Stubborn. So the Wednesday before this happened, I spoke to him on the phone, and they, as a man, maybe women are different, I don't know, but from my point of view and what I've experienced, he was chipper, he was up to beat and all this stuff. My mother's birthday is Valentine's Day. We try to get him to come out for Valentine's Day dinner for my mom's birthday, not as of a love marriage thing. It's my mom's birthday. He wouldn't do it. So, anyway, we try to get him out of the environment of where she passed away, but he would tell us that he would wake up in the middle of the night and would hear my aunt calling his name. He would go to her bedroom and her bed and stuff wasn't there.
Wow.
So, through hell and back, when you say that, I think of my uncle. I try to put my place in his shoes, and the 2 weeks he was in there without my aunt, what hell and back did he go to?
Yeah. Well, everybody takes it differently when someone goes through a suicide. Like Christy, who's on my, I can't really give too much detail because it's it goes very deep into it. But she was going through it was a relationship issue, a very abusive issue. So when someone passes away or commits suicide in that issue, it's kind of, I guess it's sad, but in a way they're relieved, because from being in an abusive situation, it kind of frees them up in a way where, like, wow, I don't have to deal with that anymore. I don't have to be slapped no more. I don't have to be punched no more. I don't want to give too much away because you have to watch the first part of the documentary, but everybody takes suicide a different, unless if it was a loved one, someone that, like you said, your grandpa or uncle or somebody, everybody takes suicide a different way. And some people, it takes a while. Some people have to go to groups. I advise people to go to a group. To definitely, hit a group out there if you have a local church or somebody, or get a friend, somebody that you're close to. Tell them what you're going through. If you're going through something in life, tell them that you're hurting. Tell them that you're going through something. Please do, because if you don't, it's gonna bundle up in there and it's gonna sneak up on you. You're gonna end up being miserable. I just wanted to say that.
Well, no, that's a good point. And we're going a little bit over. That's okay. We don't have a show after us. So I want to play this one more time. It's a 2-minute, and it's a trailer or a teaser of what's to come. And Josh, you are so super talented. And thank you for what you're doing and bring this to light, really, with all my heart. So I'm going to mute. We're going to still stay up here, but I'm going to mute us. I'm going to play this. And this is the trailer through hell and back. And Christy is the first story that's going to be coming about this. Awesome. So here we go.
I think when life gets hard, you don't know where to turn to. Sometimes you think life is over. You are about to hear some incredible stories, so sit back, relax. This is Through Hell and Back.
So, my name is Christy, and I'm going to tell you about my life. I'll just let the emotion go because you can see what these kinds of things do to people. I'm going to start by saying that I did grow up in an abusive household, and I think that is an important part in why I ended up in a lot of places that I ended up and doing a lot of things that I ended up doing. So when I was 14 years old, I basically made the decision to go and live with my father because my parents had been divorced since I was 2. Things weren't exactly the greatest there either. And when I turned 14, I met Brian.
Unmute us. Wow. Wow. That's awesome. That is so awesome, Josh. And I have Facebook Through Hell and Back, and the hour goes by so fast. So
I know.
We're at the end. I also have, people can reach you out at facebook.com to Animal Live. Wow. Josh, thank you. I keep clapping because it's just nobody really does anything about this. And then also I'm interested too if some of the paranormal occurrences, because ever since my uncle passed away, I hear George a lot. That's my Uncle George that passed through ghost box and things. I'm anxious to see if you're able to tie any of those paranormal occurrences back to suicide. I will tell you personally, and Josh, you know this because you went through it. Suicide death is way different than any other death. And so, how other than the Facebook, if anybody's experienced anything like this, they should reach out to you, or
if you're having any, like I said, I'm gonna have a show this coming Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And if you are interested to tell your story, please follow me this Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time on Animal Paranormal Live or the Animal Live. You could check me out. I'm going to leave a link in the comments so you could come onto the show and tell your story. And just, that's what it's all about, is to share your story to people that are going through some very hurtful things.
You are not alone. Even if you're thinking about suicide, you're not alone. And if you're a person that has felt the effects of suicide, you are not alone.
No.
You're not alone. And even if it feels like you're alone because this pandemic that's happened over the last year or so, come on, Josh, thank you for doing this next Monday. What time again?
This coming Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, 9 p.m. Eastern time Monday. I will make sure. Please let me know. I will share this out. I will be there too. To participate in comments and all that. So I want to say thank you so much for coming on and being a guest on the Manifest Network and What the Frick Live. Truly appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see more of you. You definitely come back on when you get some more, especially the first episode or something out, or however you're getting put this up. Because if you all know the Hillbilly Horror Story individuals, they're going to be on there too, telling their stories and things too. Thank you, Josh, really, for what you're doing. Thank you, everybody, too, for watching tonight. Please share this video. Share this out to your pages. It helps our guest, first and foremost. It helps the network that we're on, Manifest Network. It helps the show, What the Frick Love. We love you very much. We'll be back. And my co-host next week, John Sparks, still the same co-host, will be back. He's doing an interview tonight, and I got to find out the link. I'll share it up here. Please go watch him, too. Sparks of the Paranormal. We'll be back next week. I believe it's with the new reality guys out in California. So, Yeah, we love them. So we'll be back next week. Thank you so much, Josh, for being
Thank you.
part of the show. We love you and appreciate and we support you 110%. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful Friday night. Wonderful weekend. By the way, tomorrow's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have